Yeah, folks, we back again. I ain't done cooking. This dude right here, he needs all the cooking in the world. You see, because the reporter is going to ask him about the actual citizens of Chicago. He going to give you some straight bullshit. You understand what I'm telling you? Straight bull. See, he seems to think that he can run this game on black people, and as you notice in the background and the people he got in the background, he don't got no black people. There's no black people in the background. It's all these other folks, right, who don't give a damn about replacing us. Like I told you, these same folks that be looking at you like you in the wrong neighborhood. In a neighborhood that your people was originally in. They'll be looking at you like you're in the wrong neighborhood. Let's continue with this food.
Chicagoans, the needs of Chicagoans to be sacrificed for the needs of people who want to become Chicagoans. Help me understand what you mean by you said that. When does somebody, in your estimation, become a Chicagoan?
Yeah, thank you for that question. First,
let me just stop you right there before, if you didn't hear her. She was asking about why should the Chicagoans take on the burden? What about the Chicago people? Mind you, he has no plan for the people in Chicago. But he just laid out a whole plan. In my video before, he laid out a whole plan for the migrants, or the illegal immigrants. He laid out a whole plan for them. When has he ever laid out a plan for you? And watch what he tells you. This is his plan for you. Nothing specific or nothing. He about to give you some. I told you I was gonna look out for you. This is what I'm committed to. What? He gave them a plan. He didn't give you a plan. Let's go. Follow me.
let me just acknowledge I'm grateful that Reverend Jackson has found his way to the west side of Chicago. Thank you, Reverend.
Reverend Jackson, are you kidding me? This bootlicking, dirtbag turned coke clown who ain't never did nothing for black people. Why is he still around? He is dumb enough to think that mentioning Reverend Jackson is some type of even if the white structure gave a damn about Reverend Jackson, he would be somewhere prominent. He is nowhere. They forgot about him a long time ago, and this stupid Negro is still mentioning him. What does that mean to us? Nothing.
For being here today in grand fashion. You know, I've said repeatedly, and I've mentioned this when I was running for mayor, that no one should lose at the expense of someone else winning. My message has been pretty consistent. There are families who live in Chicago who have, particularly black and brown folks, who have experienced austere budgets, school.
Hey. Let me tell you something. I know people who got people in Chicago. The black neighborhoods, Chicago is one of the most segregated places you could imagine. I mean, to the point where there's whites over here, Spanish over here, black over here, Russian over here, Italian over here. It's literally like that. And you go into predominantly Latino neighborhoods in Chicago, their schools are much better than the black, the original people. Their schools are much better. This is what I'm hearing from the ground of people that I know in Chicago. You understand? Let's continue. Follow me, people.
Closures, mental health closures, public housing shutting down, jobs being lost. And for many of these families, they recognize that they have a leader in me that's going to invest in people, because that's what I promised that I would do. And too often, we have a...
This punk said a leader in him. I was going to invest in people like I said I was going to do. He is such a dirtbag scumbag. This is the worst type of... I'm telling you, folks. He is the epitome of it. You have to... He is... If you haven't seen a Negro that misled his own people for whatever he doesn't even realize that he is going to lose big in his next election. He is going to be a one-term mayor. And what other office could he run for without black support? His political career is over. You clown. And these white liberals, Democrats, are going to put you up as the scapegoat, just like the governor has already started doing to your dumb black ass. But when it happens to you, you go up in flames. As black people and black Chicagoans, they are going to laugh at you. We are going to laugh at you as you go down in flames, boy. Let's continue. Follow me.
Zero-sum operation where the wishes and desires of people are sacrificed or given to someone that quite frankly doesn't have the same motivation, right? And so too many budgets before where black and brown folks were sacrificed to benefit corporations.
Hold on. I want y'all to understand that there is no black and brown folks. There is no black and brown coalition, right? We thought that there was. If you looked at the council people in California, the Spanish people who was talking about how they can undermine the black people. See, most of these Spanish Latino people, a lot of them identify as white. They want to get down with the white power. A lot of them are just as racist as the white. As white supremacy, not white people as a whole, and I'm not talking about Latino as a whole, but there's some of them who identify as white. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there is no black and brown coalition, because when it's time to fight for what black people want, you're not gonna see no brown people on the side of you fighting with you. Talk to me, people. Follow me.
And austere budgets. And what I've simply said is this: those who live in Chicago and those who who've had the benefit of living in Chicago.
Those who live in Chicago. Who are you talking about? Are you talking about the actual citizens of Chicago that put your dusty neck in there? Look at his haircut. What kind of clown ass mohawk haircut? He looked like a clown. You look like a clown, you talk like a clown, and you run the city of Chicago like a clown. Boy, let's continue.
That I am still committed to investing in those families. And those who wish to call Chicago their home, we're committed to investing in them. My message has been clear and consistent.
I'm committed in investing in those people of Chicago. I'm still committed to that, and I'm committed to the people that's coming in here. Except for he had a plan for them. Did you hear his plan for you, Chicago? He has a plan for those people that's coming in. Have you heard his plan for you, who is struggling in Chicago? Have you heard his plan? Let's continue.
This is what we've been.
I'll just let you know. She asked the question. She said, "Why did you put?" Let me give you some background. He tried to put a site on in Halden Park somewhere in Chicago, that was toxic. And it was already known that it was toxic, and he was trying to do it anyways. He blamed it on the state, which the state has responsibility too. The white governor, Krishner, he has a responsibility too, but he's about to leave you out to dry, punk, and you won't even see it coming, or you see it coming, and I don't know what you think you about to do, but they're about to put it on you, boy. And since you didn't stand up for your own people, you ain't got no allies, sucker. So he tried to put this toxic thing, site, to put the immigrants on a toxic land site. This is what this idiot, incompetent punk tried to do. Continue.
Doing it. I haven't veered off from my mission. Look, the international crisis that I inherited 6 months ago, I've made it very clear that we are going to make sure that we remove people out of police districts, women and children who are living on floors and sleeping outside, that we're going to create spaces that provide more dignity. As we have assessed throughout this entire process, we have continued to build along that assessment. And so for every assessment, for every test that we put forth, it sets us up to take the next step. Now you're going to have a full report of this national guideline for environment. You'll have that by the end of the week.
Did you hear him say anything? I told you what she asked him. She asked him, why did you go along with that, to building that structure on there when you knew that stuff was messed up? Did you hear any